Hi guys, it's Mrs. Williams. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is start off with slope. Remember, slope is the change in the y's over change in x's. Okay, so the easy thing to remember, slope is the change in y's over the change in x's. It's the rise over the run. Some people even say rise over run right. And it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where those numbers are coming from 2 points, where you have a point x1, y1, and then you have a point x2, y2. Okay, so let's practice first. Let's find the slope of the line connecting the given points. So some people like, I'm just going to change the color here. Some people like to label this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. It does not matter which order you do the points in, as long as you're consistent with the y's and the x's, that you always start with the same point. Okay, so to find the slope, you would do 12 minus 4 over 5 minus 3. 12 minus 4 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. So our slope is 4. Okay, now the next one, I gave you the points 3, 4, and the point x, y. So now our slope is y minus 4 over x minus 3. And it gets no simpler than that, and that's okay. The next one looks even weirder. So we have the point x1, y1, and then the point xy. And we're just going to follow the same rules. We're going to have y minus y1 over x minus x1. And this is the slope between those 2 points. Now, what's really interesting about that problem is if you look at this a little closer, okay, if you look at this just a little bit closer, and this is the answer that we just had right here. This is the answer we had to that last problem. I just brought it over to the next page, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do is cross multiply. 1 times y minus 1 is y minus y1, and then we'd have m times x minus x1. And lo and behold, you have just derived the point slope form of the equation of a line. Now I know a lot of you would tell me that your favorite form of the equation of a line is the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Everybody's going to tell me right now their favorite form of the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. But I'm here to tell you that your new favorite form of the equation of a line is this point-slope form. And if you don't believe me, and you may not decide it yet this unit, but I promise you by the end of this year in Math 4R, this will be your new favorite form of the equation of a line. So pay attention to this. It's real important, and you're going to use it, and you're going to learn to love it. Okay? So let's try writing the equations of the line. So first off, I give you one where the slope is a half, and it passes through the point 2, negative 3. That means my x1 value is 2, and my y1 value is negative 3. So if we use our formula y minus y1, it's y minus a negative 3, which becomes plus a positive 3, equals our slope 1/2 times x minus our x value is 2. And guys, you're done. Do not distribute that 1/2. Do not subtract the 3 from both sides, because if you're going to make a mistake, it's going to be in the arithmetic, especially if this fraction's involved. Don't do it. There is no need to do it. Stop right there. That's perfect. Because even if I had to graph it, even if you had to put it in a calculator, let's say you had to put it in your TI Inspire. In your Inspire, you would write f1 of x equals 1/2 times the quantity x minus 2, and then you would put minus 3 at the end, okay? No need to do the work. Let's look at another one. Now I'm giving you 2 points. Well, how am I supposed to use this form of the equation of a line if I have 2 points? I need a slope and a point. Notice the name tells you what information you need. You need a point and you need the slope. Okay, well, I've got a point. I have 2 of those. I need the slope. But since we have 2 points, we can find the slope. So our slope, let's say it would be 3 minus 5 over 4 minus 1, which would be negative 2 over 3. There's our slope. Well, now comes the question, which point do we use? It doesn't matter. If you choose the point 1, 5, let's say you choose the point 1, 5, then your line is y minus, your y value is 5, equals negative 2/3 is your slope, times x minus your x value is 1, and you would be done. But let's say you chose the other point, 4, 3. Then your equation would be y minus the y value is 3 equals our slope is negative 2/3 times x minus the x value, which is 4. And believe it or not, those two equations are exactly the same. Even though they look nothing alike, they are the same, okay? And if you did the algebra to simplify them, they would be the same. If you put them both in a graphing device, whether it's a calculator or a Desmos, you're going to see they're the exact same thing. There's one more that I wanted to. I'm telling you that the slope is m, and it passes through the point 0, b. So that means my x1 is 0 and my y1 is b. That means I have y minus b equals m times x minus 0. Now, I want to make an agreement with you right here and now that we're never going to leave a minus 0 in our equation, okay? So this would reduce to this. We're also not going to leave a times 0. So here would be our answer, and I actually want to look at that answer a little more carefully. And if you look at this, so this is the same one. Our slope is m, and it passed through the point 0, b, and that's an x1 and a y1. But that b, if the x value is 0, that b is the y-intercept. That's the y-intercept of the line, which means when we just, now on the previous screen, we said x minus 0 is just x, and if I add b to both sides, y equals mx plus b. That's your old favorite form of the equation of a line, right? Okay, that's the one you're used to using, y equals mx plus b. Okay, so there's your good old standby. Now, let's write the equation, given the slope is negative 1/2 and the y-intercept is 5. So that means your b is 5. So if we have y equals mx plus b, that means y equals our slope is negative 1/2 times x plus our y-intercept is 5, and we're done. Then, suppose I give you negative 3y minus 2x equals 6, and I ask you to find the slope and the y-intercept. One of the ways to do that is to solve the equation for y. So we can add 2x to both sides, and that would be negative 3y equals 2x plus 6. Then we can divide everything by negative 3. Now we have y equals negative 2/3 x. That's a negative 2/3 x minus 2. And now when we look at it, because remember, this is in the form y equals our slope times x plus our y-intercept, we know that our slope is negative 2/3, and our y-intercept, which is b, is that negative 2. And now we found the information that we wanted. Okay, so there you go, guys. We reviewed slope, which is the change in y with the change in x's. We reviewed the point slope form of a line, which is your new favorite form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You use this form when you're given 1 point and the slope, or if you're given 2 points and you can find the slope. Then we have the slope-intercept form, your y equals mx plus b, which you use when you have a slope and you have the y-intercept. All right, guys, see you soon. Bye.